Hello everybody, welcome back once again to the Triangle Strategy walkthrough. So I actually need to save my game here, it looks like. We just did the tournament battle, and it is now time to move on.
Serenoa and his stalwart allies prove their mettle against the realm's fiercest warriors before finally facing Sir Maxwell, victor of the previous tourney. After a hard-fought match, the Dawnspear emerges victorious once more. Though beaten in the end, Serenoa's courageous display impresses itself upon all in attendance. Any doubts concerning House Wolfort's martial might are put to rest. Thus marks an end to the tourney and the festivities as a whole. With the spirit of harmony in their hearts, the delegates of each nation make preparations for their return voyages.
Seeing our honored guests off shall be your last lordly duty this day. Now, I remind you.
It is not to be taken lightly. Worry not, Benedict. They shall be sent off with all the pomp they deserve.
You take to your new role well, Lord Serenoa. As I must now take to my own. Pray, visit me at the mines whenever you have the time.
Farewell, Frederica. May we never meet again.
Thank you for such a productive use of our valuable time. I do so love interminable speeches and watching brutes play at war. Truly, the spirit of Glenbrook was on display for all to see. Oh, but I should watch my tongue. Wouldn't want her to go whimpering to brother.
Pay my fool cousin no mind. We have work to do. Work more important than any he could hope to be trusted with.
I apologize for those two. This was a fruitful day for all in attendance.
I am glad to hear you say so, General of Lura.
I can't believe we lost. I thought you were supposed to be one of Hyzant's greatest warriors.
Our foe was a worthy one. It would be an honor to cross blades again someday.
Thank you for your hospitality. Please give my regards to Lord Simone.
Of course, Minister.
It would seem everyone is gathered. You'll find your boats are laden with a bounty of Glenbrook's finest wares and victuals. King Regna asks that you eat and drink your fill, and toast to our three nations' newfound alliance.
More of that swill you call wine? I suppose I could force myself to partake.
Your king honors us with his generosity. We shall present these as offerings to the goddess of salt. The Hierophant, too, will no doubt be overjoyed.
Lord Wolford, I bring a message from King Regna. He would have you join our guests on their return voyage to serve as their envoy.
This is a great honor, my lord. You would represent our nation and speak with the king's voice.
If it is His Majesty's wish, it is a duty I will gladly accept. But there are two vessels and only one of me. Did King Regna say which of our honored guests I should accompany?
He would leave that decision to you, Lord Wolford.
Lord Falks, as representative of another of Glenbrook's high houses, will board the ship you do not.
And why was House Tellior not given this honor? Last I knew, our kingdom had 3 high houses, not 2.
The mere fact that you whimper those words before us is answer enough. Good show at the tourney, Lord Serenoa. You truly are your father's son. The king has seen fit to lead this decision in your hands, and I shall not gainsay his wisdom.
A lord must be worldly as well as wise. I trust you will conduct yourself as befits the lord of a high house.
Thank you, Sir Maxwell, Lord Falks.
The king has entrusted this decision to you, my lord. I suppose you have an idea as to why.
He means to test my judgment. He is waiting to see which I choose and for what reason.
Indeed. We are friendly with both nations now, so neither choice will earn his ire. That said, there is no telling how these relations may change going forward. No doubt, the choice you make will have an effect on our own house's relationship with the nation you choose.
I understand. This requires careful consideration. Benedict, gather the others. I would hear their opinions on the matter. Then we shall consult the scales of conviction.
At once, my lord.
Alright, next up is the vote phase. So Serenoa decides whether his house will make the journey to the Grand Duchy of Esfrost or the Holy State of Hyzant.
It seems your first test as Lord has come. 'Tis no small matter either.
Indeed, but I needn't face it alone. I would ask each of you where you think we should go and why. State your case before the scales of conviction. Then we shall decide our destination.
We take a vote and the consensus determines our action. Is that it?
That is correct. So long as my allies walk by my side, their opinions carry equal weight to mine. Such is the way of House Wolffort. As Lord, I shall bear the weight of consequence for the Scales' decision, whatsoever they may be.
You are more serious than usual, my friend.
He understands what it means to be Lord of his house.
Well, I hope you have room for a stowaway, because I'm going to. In secret, of course. I trust the new Lord Wolffort will handle the ponderous negotiations and diplomacy with grace.
Your Highness, you cannot be...
You may stay ashore if you wish, Urette.
You know I cannot allow that. If you insist on going, then I shall attend you.
Well then, it would seem the matter is settled.
There is exactly one coin for each of us.
It seems fate has conspired to bring balance to our proceedings.
How curious.
Curious? I see it as a sign that the heavens approve of my joining you.
You are ever the optimist, my friend.
Shall we proceed, my lord? One coin, one vote.
Very well. I would hear each of your thoughts on the matter in turn. Then you shall place your coin upon the scales of conviction and illuminate the road ahead.
Right, Esfrost or Hyzant, would that we had the time to visit both. Although I may not have my own token of conviction, it is my duty to lend an ear to their arguments. An honest exchange of opinions will hopefully lead to a decision that satisfied all who vote. Being that this is actually my third pass through the game, this vote doesn't matter at all. I've actually already been to, you know, as Frost I chose the first time, which I was very actually happy with. I really like Rudolph. He's, you know, he's made it into almost every battle, you know, that I've done. There's some, you know, exceptions, but that Slumber Arrow is amazing. Once you get that, is just Sleep is very, very good in you know, playing on hard mode, because again you have to, you know, really play defensively and, you know, control enemies, and sleep is a big part of that. So Corentin, on the other hand, I like Corentin, but I think of the two, I do like Rudolph a little bit more. But anyways, let's see here. I think I actually am going to go to Hyzant again. The reason why I think I'm going to vote that way is because the battle that you have to do when you go to Azfrost has Sikrus in it, and he's a guest, and that's a real problem. I want to try to avoid any you know, battles that have guests, because again I've been, you know, trying to get through all of these battles without having any deaths, and you know, the guests are suicidal and make things way more difficult, honestly, than I really want. And then on top of that, the Hyzant route actually has a, I wouldn't say a good steal, but it has a steal, whereas the Azfrost route doesn't have any steals whatsoever, or anything worth stealing. Which, I mean, it's honestly just an ice amulet, so not especially critical, but. Alright, so I need to talk to Roland here first. Tell us Azfrost will be a close partner in the days ahead. It would be wise to see how they live, don't you think? Yeah, but I want to go to Hyzant. It's kind of funny that Roland actually wants to go to Azfrost, now that I'm thinking about it, because, and I'm sorry, spoiler alert, so hopefully you've been, you know, watching the other videos or have made it to this point. But anyways, Roland ends up, you know, basically hating Azfrost. So it's very funny that he suggests going there. But anyways, what reasons do you have for wanting to visit Hyzant? I just have a feeling that what? That's really lame. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm gonna go with I would be fascinated to see a society where everyone is truly equal.
Certainly.
Indeed, they say Hyzant is a country without kings or nobles. It's hard to imagine. But why imagine when we could see it with our own eyes? An interesting proposal. I wonder what everyone else thinks. You've given me much to consider, friend. Also, very funny then, also that Frederica wants to visit Hyzant, and she ends up hating Hyzant. And actually, same thing with Benedict. That's heck, man. I don't think I ever really thought about that until now. You know, in Benedict's ending, and again, sorry, spoilers, if you, basically, you know, that was the route that I took for my first playthrough. And Benedict allies with Azfrost to take down Hyzant. So it's very funny that they all choose to kind of want to go to the places that they end up hating. And who knows, maybe they want to make, you know, gain some knowledge. And then Gila here, kind of, again, funny. She was originally from Hyzant, so... yeah, anyways. Yeah, and she... It's funny. She, when you actually end up in Hyzant, she doesn't like to reveal that she's actually from there. So, I think there's a little conversation with Corentin, and, yeah, I think she kind of shies away from mentioning that, you know, she's from around there. But anyways, alright, so I need to convince Huet next.
Lord Serenoa.
Azfrost soldiers are said to be amongst the strongest in all of Norzelia. However, that is only hearsay. I mean to judge them for myself. Yeah, but it's tough. Alright, so let's see here. We should see how their touted quality works in practice. For now, it's only words to me. Or I would like to visit the source. There's nothing else like it in the world. It said that the skill of their mages is unequaled. Wouldn't you like to test your skill against such warriors? There we go. Let's appeal to our warrior. I've heard the same. What magic I have seen is impressive enough. I can scarce imagine what a true master could do. Should like to try my hand against one in mock combat, if able. My bow against their spells. Thank you, my lord. I suppose there may be some merit in visiting Hyzant. It's funny, too, because Hued is very much geared, in my opinion, towards melee, well, either melee or like more physical based enemies. You know, Shadow Stitch, you know, completely shuts down melee units. Blind Arrow, you know, great against archers. I mean, also good against melee characters as well. But she doesn't really have that great of an answer for mages. Kind of Shadow Stitch, right? Especially if you're high enough up, you can Shadow Stitch so that they can't get any closer to your troops. But yeah, she's more of a physical character killer. But anyways, all right, let's go talk to Anna here
Lord
last.
Serenoa.
As for Oster Hyzant, it makes no difference to me. Where you go, I shall follow. Still, I would like to hear your thoughts on the matter, my lord. Alright, we wish to visit the holy state of Hyzant. They say Hyzant is the nation of salt and sand. You have a reason to go there. Here, everyone is treated as equals. I would like to see the truth of that claim. Yeah, it's not true. I can scarce imagine so much sand. I would like to see it with my own eyes. I wish to see what miracles are performed at the ministry and learn what kind of magic and medicine enables them. Yeah, I don't know.
Indeed.
We'll go with that one. I hear the feats performed there are beggar belief. Any knowledge we gain would surely come in handy during times of need. Thank you for sharing, my lord. I see now why you wish to visit Hyzant. All right, that's going to be it. Let's actually here. Let's do, I guess, these conversations quickly. King Regna expects great things of you, Lord Serenoa. If there's anything I can do to be of service, simply say the word. I'd like to learn more about the holy state of Hyzant. I know they lay claim to the source and thus all Norzelia's salt. I should like to know more about Frederica's home. I hear the Grand Duchy of Esfrost is known for its views on freedom. Or I should like to hear more about our home of Glenbrook. Are there any problems I should be aware of? Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear about these problems at home. Haha, surely you jest, Lord Serenoa. The kingdom is in capable hands of royalists like myself. Oh, okay. Our home has a long history of prosperous trade that utilizes everything our bountiful land has to offer. There is nothing for the warriors of House Wolfort to worry themselves over. But if I may be so blunt, Prince Roland's whimsical acts of late have been met with disappointment from both King Regna and Prince Franny. Why would he care about what Prince Franny has to say, though? He's not the king. I wouldn't call them whimsical, Minister Patriot. Roland is doing everything he can for his kingdom. If this were not a family matter, I should like to ask His Highness myself to conduct himself in a manner more befitting a prince. Yeah, what does that even mean? Alas, this is out of my hands. I'm certain you understand the same, Lord Wolford. I would hate for anything to happen should you decide to step in. Yeah, I suppose this conversation does make sense in light of actually Roland's ending, which unfortunately I haven't done yet, so hopefully I'm not, spoiling it too much. But the Royalists play a much more large role, I suppose, in Roland's final chapters, and so this conversation actually does make a lot of sense in light of that. Patriot's, I guess, view is that the Royalists, and he says it straight out here, that the Royalists are should be listened to, and basically leave the kingdom in their hands. And he kind of treats the royal family as, I don't know if I would say a nuisance, but they want to go, especially all the Royalists want to kind of really actually be the real control in the kingdom. And so here he's urging Roland to be kind of like fill in more of a role like that, and that'll be kind of explained a little bit more at some point as well, where Patriot says, I think it's Patriot even, that says that King Regna and Franny kind of knew their roles, and we're happy to let the Royalists kind of control things a little bit more. But anyways, House Wolford has turned its sword on the royal family before, albeit 30 years ago. But in the end, your house joined forces with the kingdom to lead the war to its end, and are even lauded as heroes to this day. But there are some who still harbor their suspicions. I urge you to proceed with the utmost caution. Pray forgive me, I forget myself sometimes. I hope my foolish ramblings have not clouded your judgment. The decision is yours to make, Lord Serenoa. I am sure you will choose most wisely. Indeed. Alright, let's talk with Franny here. Lord Wolford, I know your position as head of your house comes with many responsibilities, but being party to Roland's fancies is not one of them. I hope you understand that. Roland is doing what he can for the kingdom in his own way. As his older brother, I'm sure you can see that. Or Roland may be a prince, but he's also like a brother to me. Wow, that's very funny. Again, in light of the revelations later on in the game, I swear to do all I can in service of the crown. Or I appreciate your concern, Prince Franny, and hope that you and I can be friends as well, just like our fathers before us. I like this one, actually. Referring to him as like a brother. A brother, you say? You mean to take my place as that fool's older sibling, then? Yeah, actually, it's kind of funny that that's kind of how it plays out, too. Of course not. There is no way I could replace you, Prince Franny. But because you are brothers in truth, it stands to reason that you would bicker like siblings. Perhaps it would be good for the royal family if I were to be a buffer between you two. What a curious man you are, to offer to play such a part. Do as you please, but I suggest holding on tightly to his reins if you do. Oh, Roland's the one with the horse. I just realized I didn't talk to Eredor. Where is he? Oh, here he is.
Listen, lad.
Alright, can't very well say Hyzant holds much appeal to me. Swordsblade and X-Arm are too clever by half. I'm sure the people of Aesfrost will give a warm reception, even if their weather won't. You want to go to Hyzant, do you? Care telling me why, my lord? Sand and sun must make people of a different sort than here. It would be interesting to meet them. I've long wanted to visit the source. It is the cornerstone of all life in Norzelli, after all. Stories of the miracles performed in the Ministry of Medicine have piqued my interest. Such knowledge could help our soldiers and common folk alike. I just realized that this isn't a conviction choice. I was like, why don't I see what, you know, these options are? I think I'm just gonna... I think the last time I chose the sand and sun must make... I think I'm gonna go with the middle option this time. I've long wanted to visit the source. It's the cornerstone of all life in Norzelli.
Aye, but...
I understand your curiosity, my lord, but your union with Frederica marks an important turning point. You'll have other chances to visit the source, and make no mistake, right now you should set your eyes on making your lady love happy.
I've made up my mind.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts on the matter, my lord. He didn't seem like he was real convinced, but he ends up deep in thought anyway, which I think is the case for all options, if I'm remembering correctly. Like, there's no way to actually mess up this vote, really. Alright, let's do this. End the persuasion phase and commence voting.
It is time to cast our votes. Do we journey to the Grand Duchy of Aesfrost, or the Holy State of Hyzant? Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
Alright, I'm gonna fast forward this. And there you have it. Hyzant it is.
The way forward is decided. We journey to Hyzant.
Indeed we do. Again.
We have decided. We set sail for the Holy State of Hyzant. Whether or not it proves to be the right choice will depend on our actions. I trust in you all.
We are ready to set sail, Lord Patriot.
Very good, my lord. When you pay respects to the Holy One and the Saintly Seven, remember that you do so on behalf of our king.
Lord Serenoa, we are honored that you would choose to grace our nation with your presence. That said, I must offer you a warning as well.
It may be in Lady Frederica's best interests to remain here in Glenbrook. I fear there may be some complications were she to come to Hyzant.
Huh? She is half-sister to the Archduke and my betrothed besides. What complications could there possibly be?
None, if I had any say in it. However, the matter is more delicate than that.
Your lady's hair would draw attention. Unfortunately, none of it favorable.
My mother's hair. The pink locks of the Roselle. Mother once told me of how her people fled Hysand.
Then you know how the Roselle are viewed in our nation. How the gospel of the goddess regards them as sinners.
Yes, I do. But I am from Esfrost, and I assure you I have committed no sins.
Of course, my lady. Very well then. I will do all in my power to see your visit is a pleasant one.
Thank you. Pray forgive my outburst.
You've no need to apologize. Still, I must ask, are you certain?
I must go. I would see with my own eyes. See where and how my mother and her people suffered.
And she will see exactly how they suffer. Whither the river flows. Alright. Let me take a look here. I'm not sure if I want to end this one here. Or if I want to keep going. I'm kind of out of time, honestly. Boom, 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 boom. Vote phase done. Yeah, yeah, I think I just will end this one here. I just think that there's probably going to be too much story to try to sneak all into this video before the next battle. So, as always, hope the guide was helpful, and thank you for watching.